Good morning. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to sand a cabinet door. So I'm working on a vanity right here, and it's got four doors, two working drawers, and a false front. So I want to show you how the time it takes you to actually sand a door. So right here is the vanity, right here. Four doors across, two doors, and a false front on it. These are my doors here, basically a shaker door with a little quarter round on the inside. These are the ones I made in-house here. This is paint grade, so this is all leftover cherry that I've had sitting around. And if something sits around too long, it's going to get used. Don't care since it's getting painted. Now, one thing you have to notice that when you're using cherry, you're going to get pitch pockets, cat eyes, or cat feet. They call them cat's paws. That's what it is. So you have to fill them in with a bit of spackling, which I've already done. Done already a couple of the drawer fronts there, but I'm going to show you how long it should actually take to do one of these. And you can do the count yourself on that. So let me get this set up for a second. All right. So, okay, got a door here. I've sanded it now to 180 grit through my wide belt sander. If you were to do it, let's say you wanted to mill these yourself and you've got the wood, you mill all the parts, but you don't have a wide belt sander, you got to do what's called and climb the tree. So you've got to sand this with 80 grit to level out all the joints, and then go up to, you almost want to go up like 100, 120, 150. I finish at 150 for most stained and painted finishes. So you just got to you want to take off the most amount of material in the quickest amount of time when you're doing it with palm sanders, electric, whether it's air or electric, it doesn't matter. But you want to do it sequentially and do it as quickly as possible. So you go through your steps, you do all your doors at let's say 80. And then you do all of them at 100 grit or 120, and then 150. And that last 150, you're not putting a lot of work into it. All you're doing is removing scratches. So the 80 is the one that does all the work. The other ones are just getting rid of scratches at that point. You're not doing any kind of grinding work with any of the other sandpaper grits. Your initial one is the leveling, all the other ones are just getting rid of scratches, so it goes actually fairly quickly. So, I've sanded to 180, I'm dropping to 150. That means I'm not actually doing any grinding work, all I'm doing is sanding. All I'm doing is just getting rid of those, the lines of the 180 grit. So if I drop a grit, no problem. If I did 180, it's a lot more work. 150, you're dropping, it's that much easier. So, when you're doing a profile like this shaker door, I've ran a router over here and put a 16-inch radius on all the edges. So do your edges first. Okay. The reason you do your edges first, if you happen to cross sand a little bit, like I go like this, it doesn't matter, right? You go, oh yeah, I missed. It really doesn't matter. All you're doing is rounding that edge over. If it was a profile, yeah, you'd have to go around it. This is a very simple one that you can do with both sides at one time. And then break that edge there. Break the edge. And the reason I do it like this is when I go like that, my hand pushes in and it rolls it over nicely. And you get this nice, you can really tell that it's been hand polished. Next. Sand your edges. Especially the showing side. This is a bottom. I've got my number on here. All I'm doing is just getting rid of the fuzz off. That's it. sharp corner on the inside here. Again, this is paint grade. If I happen to scuff the panel a little bit, not a big deal. If it's stain grade, you cannot do it that way. You actually have to put a piece of paper or some kind of barrier in between like this and sand like that. If you're not skilled at it, that's the best way to do it. Is just put something against the edge and then sand to that. Once you get used to it, you don't touch the panel anymore. And it's just that much easier. A little trick if you want to learn how much to actually take off, go like this with this. It's called the disappearing pencil trick. Break those edges, and even if it's stain grade or paint grade, 2 rotations and it's done. So that's how long it should take to do a small door like this. Leave yourself 3 to 5 minutes per door. That's all it should take to do a door like this. So realistically, I should be able to do this if it came out of my sander, a door like this in 2 minutes, flat. If you were having to go 80 grit to level it off, and if you milled everything properly, it should go actually fairly quickly. Pre-fill before you sand, especially on paint grade, and you want to fill in any of the holes. Do your first initial sand at 80. Then bring yourself up the tree again to 150. But that is essentially what you want to do. So hopefully that's helpful, but that's how I do my doors, and I never have flaws, and you follow that rule. Edges, backs, do the inside, sand again, flip to the other side. You do the flats like this. You can do the pencil thing that I showed you. Do your edges, and then do your flats one more time. And then you've broken your edges all the way around. Feel it, and you're done. So that's how you do a door.